By the end of this video, you're going to realize that building your creative business is possible for you by following these 4 steps that I have used to grow my creative business, even though you might think you don't have enough time. So the other day, I posted on my Facebook page about how I have a full-time job, and because of that, my business probably hasn't grown as quickly as I'd like it to over the years. And some wonderful woman commented that she felt encouraged by that because she too has a full-time job at a law firm, and between the commute and her job and all the other things in life, she was thinking the same thing that so many of us are all thinking, and that is, I have no time to build my business. Let's be honest here. There's not a lot of people that I know that have a lot of extra time. In fact, both my in-laws and my parents are both retired, and they're always telling me how busy they are. And to put it even more into perspective, I helped my 98-year-old grandma move into an independent living apartment about a year ago. I just went back to visit her a few weeks ago, and I asked her if she'd met a lot of people in the building. She told me that she's just been so busy, she hasn't had the time to meet people. This woman has essentially 0 responsibilities, and yet she hasn't had the time to meet people in her building. It just goes to show that none of us seem to have enough time, no matter what age we are, no matter our jobs or lack thereof in this case, and no matter our circumstances. One thing remains the same. We just don't have enough time. So if that's the case, how in the heck do we grow our businesses? That's just one more thing to add to our plates when we can't even find the time to begin with. And even though there's so little time, there's so many things we'd all like to be doing. For example, for me, I'd be interested in learning to play tennis or learning calligraphy on the iPad or rebounding on a trampoline or enrolling in adult dance class. These are things I'm interested in doing, and I've considered doing them, but I've never actually consciously intended on doing them and making those things a reality in my life. If I had, I'd be doing them, right? So for example, I've recently made a commitment to make YouTube videos every week until the end of this year. I could have said I might make these videos, or maybe I should make these videos, or I'm kind of interested in making them. And if I didn't actually set the intention to make consistent videos, then guess what? I wouldn't do it. Why? Because it takes a lot of work to make a video like this. I have to script it out. I have to get all the recording equipment out. I have to make sure I look halfway presentable. And then I have to record it. Not to mention the editing, the description writing, the posting, and then letting you know that I've posted it. It's a lot of work. So honestly, if I was just interested in doing it, I would simply pass. So that's the first thing that you want to do when you don't think that you have enough time to create your business, is to set an intention. It's not enough to just flip through Instagram or YouTube and say, oh, that lady's making 100K selling printables. That sounds kind of fun. I might be interested in that. No, being interested will not get you to where you want to be. Being committed, however, will get you there. The rest of the steps in this formula to building your business with no time come from a book I love called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And the next step that he proposes to get you to your goals is to focus on your choices. Now, the idea behind your choices are that they often seem small and insignificant when you're making them. A minute here, an hour there. But what the compound effect presents is that it's actually those tiny, seemingly minuscule choices that will ultimately make or break if we reach our goals. In Darren Hardy's book, he tells us that it's not so much that we're making the wrong decisions. We aren't consciously sitting there and making the decision to not work towards our goals. It's more that we're completely asleep to the fact that we could be making different choices to be making progress in our business. So let me tell you how this might show up for you. As a business coach, I see beginner business owners making this mistake in regard to their choices. Oftentimes, at the very beginning of growing a business, they are looking at all the things they have to do and they get stuck. They make the choice then not to move forward at all because it seems like there are too many steps in front of them, or that they could take the first step, like designing their first product or starting their blog or writing their book. But the second or third or fifth step is the one that scares them, like listing the product, starting the website, or getting that book published. So why bother taking the first step? So the choice that is made is to stay exactly where we are, not making any progress, not moving forward. That choice is really costing people. And again, most people don't really see this as a choice, right? They see it as something that's out of their control, so they are forced to make the choice not to move forward. We have to realize that these choices, however small they might feel and however out of our control that they may seem, have gotten us to exactly the place that we are right now. So the question is, how are you choosing to spend your time? Realize that every single choice you make, especially about how you spend your time, will alter your life. And that brings us to the next step, because once you realize that you can take pretty small choices that lead to an entirely different life, the key isn't to make those different choices every once in a while. Oh no. The key is to make those choices on a daily basis. And these are what are called our habits. Now, I, like you, started my business feeling like I was starting from zero, because I was. But I made the choice to use my time to make small steps in my business. Kind of like me filming this video each week. When I first started my party decorations business, I loved to write. So I wanted to make one blog every week. Was it really doing anything for my business at the time? Some days I wondered if it was a complete waste of time. But I made it a habit in my business because I knew that by making the choice to blog each and every week, it would bring me the goal that I wanted. And as a little foreshadowing, just the other day, I received a deposit in my bank account from just one of my affiliates for over $1,100. And that's a direct result of my blogging efforts. You see, habits are simply making the choices that we talked about earlier a routine thing in your life. So if you know that creating a few products a week or writing a few pages a day or filming one YouTube video a week is getting you closer to your goals, then it only makes sense to do it on a more regular basis. But the problem is that when we don't see immediate results, it's sometimes hard to keep a habit, right? So we wonder, am I wasting this precious time that I already don't have enough of? And the answer is no, because it brings us to our next step that comes after the intention that you set, after the choices that you make, and after the habits that you build. And that is momentum. In The Compound Effect, the author talks about how hard it is to develop good habits because we opt for instant gratification instead of sticking to the plan that we think will get us to our goals. That's why often we scroll Instagram reels instead of, recording a YouTube video or listing a new product or emailing our audience. If we did any of those things just one time and we instantly made $1,000, let's say, it wouldn't be hard at all to make the choice to do the things every single day. But because there's delayed gratification with reaching our goals, we often can't see how our choices and habits are impacting us long term. What we don't see is the momentum that's building up every time we take one of these actions in our business. So what happens is that even though our actions might be very small choices, when we make them over and over for a period of time, one day we start to see results. And that is because all of these little steps that didn't really take us that much time at all add up and start to gain momentum. When I first started blogging, did I feel like it was a waste of time? Yes. Did it take some time for me to set it up? Yes. But because it was just a small thing that I did each week, it didn't feel like such a huge undertaking. Did it grow as fast as other business owners who didn't have a full-time job, a child, a million other responsibilities? No. The only reason I'm where I am now is because I did these small things over time. Tony Robbins says that people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. So my friend, what I'm telling you is you don't need a ton of time. You need to finally decide what it is that you want to create, and then make choices to develop habits that will build momentum to get you where you want to be. In fact, I have a free worksheet that will help you break this strategy down so that you can make this business a reality. You can download it right where you're watching this video. Now, let me be clear. It's not about overnight success. Instead of viewing time as your enemy, realize that it is time that will be your strongest asset because your efforts amplify over time, allowing your actions to compound and build wealth and success over the long term. So I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you in the next one.